Hello everyone, welcome back to my JEE Physics. Today we are going to see a very good concept, that is work done in expanding the charger disk. Okay, so first let me explain the situation. Suppose I am taking the charger disk. Okay, so this disk is thin and uniformly charged with the charge density sigma, and the radius of the disk is r. Okay, so now what is the task? The task is, so how much work we need to do in expanding the charge disk to 2r radius. You can take 3r radius, you can take 4r radius. It's ultimately expanding. The radius of the disk is increasing, and we are not adding any charge, or we are not removing the charge. So that means charge remains constant in this concept. Okay, I request everybody to go through this question and solve it and come back for the solution. Okay, so how to approach, how to find out the work done? See, whenever you are talking about work done in electrostatics, so work done by external force will be equal to change in potential energy of the configuration, or else work done by electrostatic forces which are conservative, so can be written as minus of delta U. So you can find out either of them. Either you can find out work done by external force or work done by conservative forces. So here work done we can find out by finding the change in potential energy of the configuration. That is, I think, easy method than forces. Force is very tough because you have to find out the field, force, displacement and integration. It's a lot of things are there. Okay, so which are, I feel, really tough. I don't know if anybody is trying in that way or not. So I feel that potential energy, finding the potential energy of the disk, means some sort of we are finding the self energy of the disk. Okay, suppose I am taking the disk which is charged. Now I want to find out what is the potential energy stored in this configuration. That means what? It's a self energy of the disk. So if I am able to find out the self energy of the disk, then I can find out easily work done value. Okay, so that is the idea I want to apply here. So I don't know how many of you know the self energy of a spherical shell, at the same time self energy of a non-conducting sphere. So okay, so I think you have come across these things: self energy of the spherical shell and self energy of the non-conducting sphere. Okay, so just go through it. Okay, if you are not done these things, then definitely I'll take up, let me know in the comment section so that I will explain these parts also. Okay, so first let us go with the self energy of the disk. For that I'm taking the one disk. Okay, so now I want to find out potential at any point on the periphery. Okay, so I want to know potential at this place due to disk. It's a charged disk. You can take, again, it's charged with sigma. Let's say. Okay, so for that what I'm doing is I'm taking the small part, something like this, which is a arc. This is the small part I'm taking. Okay, so now I want to know that what is the charge on this small part. So this small part is at equidistance from the point. Every point of the small part is at a distance of r, smaller. Okay, so it's something like an arc of radius r, so that I can easily write down the potential. And this thickness I'm writing as dr. Dr is the thickness. So hope you understood. So then what is the charge on the arc? Charge on the arc, okay, which is I'm writing as dq, sigma into, now let us say this angle is some alpha. Okay, na? So either alpha or theta. Let us go with theta, that's better. This I'm taking as theta. Okay, na? So then what is the length of the arc? Length of the arc I'll get 2r theta, length of the arc, multiplied with the thickness, which is I have taken as dr. So hope you understood. This is the charge on the disk. If this is the charge on the disk, directly I can write down the potential at this point, let us say A. Then what is the potential at A point? Potential at point A is, I can write down, dV is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq by r, because total charge, whatever be the charge is there on this small part, every charge is at the equidistance from the A point. So that's why I can write down that directly dq by r. Okay, so then 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught dq value is sigma into 2r theta dr by r again. So then r cancelled out, and even 2 also will cancel out. You will get sigma by 2 pi epsilon naught, which is constant. Then what left with us? With us, theta and dr terms are left. So now we have left with two different variables. One is theta, other one is r term. So we have to convert in one variable so that we can integrate. So how to convert it? Let us see. This is the center of the disk. Then this length would be capital R. Even this length also would be capital R. This angle is theta. I have taken this angle is theta. So similar triangles, if I go, or isosceles triangle, both the sides R and R. So let us go with this point is something like in a B, and this is the center C. Now AC is equal to BC. Okay, so it's isosceles triangle. Then we can write down the R expression if I am dropping a one perpendicular. Okay, so then this is R cos theta. Even this length also will become R cos theta. I think all of you good with this geometry. Then what is the smaller value I can write down? 2R cos theta. Okay, so this is the R value. Then I can write down, but we require the dr value. So if I go with the dr, I'll get 2r minus 2r sin theta d theta. Okay, so then what is the potential at that point is sigma by 2 pi epsilon naught theta into dr term is minus 2r sin theta d theta. So actually, which should not be negative. Mathematically we are getting negative here, but actually it should be positive. Why? Because we have taken the positive charge. Then at A point it should be positive potential. So that's why I am taking the magnitude. So I can take the magnitude because I am calculating purely potential, which is a scalar quantity. Okay, so I can write down that sigma r by pi epsilon naught. Okay, sin theta. Okay, theta sin theta d theta. So this is the potential at A point. Now I want to know that the total potential, I mean net potential at A point due to entire disk. If I want to find out the total disk, then I'll get net potential at A point is equal to integral dv 0 to pi by 2. Okay, so if I'm changing the theta value from 0 to pi by 2, so then automatically I'll get 0 to pi by 2 Siemens. Okay, so this will be the last element. Okay, 0 to pi by 2 means I'm covering all sectors or all arcs on the disk. So I don't know how many of you remember. You did in the same way. I think you have found the field also, field at a point on the edge of the disk. Okay, so I don't know how many of you did. So sigma r by pi epsilon naught. Now integral theta sin theta d theta 0 to pi by 2. So then how to solve this integration? This is theta sin theta, u into v method. So in mathematics you have done. Okay, so then this integration will stand for u into integral v, okay, which are from 0 to pi by 2, minus integral derivative of u into integral of v, okay, multiplied with d theta. So hope you remember this formula. So exactly I didn't remember what it's called as. Actually this integration is usually integral u into v method. Okay, so then sigma r by pi epsilon naught. So this value goes to minus theta cos theta, which is 0 to pi by 2, minus of, this is integral derivative of theta is 1, and integral sin theta will become minus cos theta d theta. Okay, then this value will become sigma r by pi epsilon naught, and this value goes to minus pi by 2 cos pi by 2, which is 0, minus of minus plus 0 into cos 0 minus of plus integral sin theta will become integral cos theta will become sin theta, which is 0 to pi by 2. So then sigma r by pi epsilon naught into, so these two are zeros, and this is 1, sin pi by 2 1 and sin 0 is 0. Okay, then finally I'll get potential value sigma r by pi epsilon naught. Okay, so we have crossed one barrier. We found the we found the potential at a one point on the edge of the disk due to disk. But what we are achieving from this? Okay, what is the use of this potential? I told you, we have to find out the energy of the disk. So let us see. Suppose if disk is having the charge, let us say this is the disk. Okay, if disk is having the charge, then what is the energy stored in the disk? To calculate energy stored in the disk, what I am doing is I am taking at a distance of x, I am taking the one small elemental ring, okay, of thickness dx. Now let us calculate what is the energy of this disk, energy of this ring element. Then I'll go for energy of the disk. So hope you understood. Okay, na? So I want to find out what is the charge in this elemental part. If I know the charge and I multiply with the potential, then I'll automatically get the potential energy value. So that is our my idea. Okay, so then what is the charge on the small part? Charge on the small part is sigma into 2 pi x dx. This is the charge. So then what is the potential at any point on the edge of this elemental part? It is nothing but, so can I say that all these parts are edges of a disk of radius x? Then what is the potential at any point? The potential point is equal to, I use the previous formula, which is sigma into radius by pi epsilon naught. So hope you are understanding. Okay, same formula I am using here now. See, this is the formula I got. This is the potential at the edge of the disk of radius r, capital R. Now I want to find out the potential at the edge of the disk radius is x. So then I'll get sigma x into pi epsilon naught. Then automatically I'll get the potential energy. Okay, so then what is the potential energy of the elemental part of the disk is dq into v. So I'll get sigma into 2 pi x dx multiplied with potential sigma x by pi epsilon naught. So pi cancel out, you will get sigma square, 2 sigma square, okay, by epsilon naught. I'll get x square dx. Now I want to find out the entire energy of the disk. So for that I have to integrate from, it's a known thing, okay, 0 to r, then x square dx. So then you'll get 2 sigma square r cube by 3 epsilon naught. This you'll get r cube by 3 integration value, x cube by 3. If you put 0 to r, you'll get r cube by 3. So finally this is the self energy of the disk. Okay, so then what is how we solve our question? What is our task? Our task is to find out what is the work done in expanding the disk from r radius to 2r radius. Okay, so then see that how we'll solve this part. First I'm taking the r radius disk, which is having the sigma, okay, charge density. Then what is the initial energy of the disk? Initial energy of the disk is 2 sigma square r cube by 3 epsilon naught. Now the disk radius became 2r. See, this is the one place where I think you might have gone through mistake. So let us see. Here now sigma value will become sigma by 4 because the charge on the disk remains same. Charge remains same, so area is increasing here. Okay, area is becoming 4 times. Then sigma value will become 1 by 4 times. If you want, you can check. Q is equal sigma into pi r square. This is. Here also Q value same. Then what is the sigma dash? Is the charge density, new charge density, into pi into 4r square. Okay, so then sigma dash into 4 pi r square. I think this is not required. You know this part. I feel so. Sigma into pi r square. So sigma dash is equal to sigma by 4. So it's a simple logic to understand. I hope you understood this part. Then what is the final potential energy? Final energy of the configuration. 2 into sigma square is nothing but sigma by 4 square formula, and radius is 2r whole cube by 3 epsilon naught. So if you are taking the same sigma, then I think your answer gone wrong. Okay, so I don't know how many of you did mistake. Please let me know in the comment section what mistakes you came through. so that I can understand how you are dealing. And it's very happy to say that some people are asking doubts in the comment section also, so that's a good thing. So definitely I reply to your doubts, okay, according to my free time. Okay, so please wait for your doubt to be clarified, and please let me know in the comment section how you are thinking to the question also, so that I can make or I can collect good questions to explain in this channel. So here we got the initial energy and final energy. Okay, so then how to find out the work done? Work done by external agent, let us say, then it is delta U, which is nothing but final minus initial. Let us simplify here only this part. What is the value we'll get? This is 8, 2 cube. 2 cube is 8, and 1 by 4 square 16. Okay na? So then it is directly sigma square 16, 8 and 2. I think all will cancel out, all numbers will cancel out. Sigma square r cube by 3 epsilon naught. So actually final value is less than the initial value. Okay, so then sigma square r cube by 2 epsilon naught minus 2 sigma square r cube by, sorry, this is 3 epsilon naught, 3 epsilon naught. Then what is the work done by external agent is equal to minus of sigma square r cube by 3 epsilon naught. See, I got external work done negative. I got. What does it mean? It's very simple. If you forget all this mathematics and think logically, see, disk is having the positive charge. Okay, so usually we take metal or conductors. Conductors means we take solids. Okay na? Solids, and we are keeping the charge on the disk. All these charges will repel each other. As repel each other, they are in a mode of expanding themselves. Okay, expanding themselves. So we have to expand the conductor in such a way that so it should not get any velocity. If you leave freely, suppose imagine like this, whatever material we are taking, disk material, that is expandable. Okay, if it is expandable material, then if you keep the positive charge, then automatically it's try to expand. Okay, while it is expanding, what happens? It will gain some kinetic energy also. Different particles of the disk will gain the kinetic energy. Okay, now we want to expand the disk in such a way that okay, those particles should not gain any kinetic energy. Understood? So that means we need to apply external force should be applied exactly opposite to the repulsive forces. These are the external forces, let us say, okay, which are opposite to the repulsive electrostatic repulsive forces. Okay, in such a way that we can expand the disk to double the radius. I hope you understood this logic. Please let me know in the comment section, okay, if you have any doubt. So we are applying the force opposite to the actual displacement or expansion of any particle in the disk. So that's why we will get negative work done. So this is some explanation for the negative work done. Okay, so hope you understood the self energy of the disk. Maybe this will be useful in solving the questions related to charged disk. So hope you enjoyed the video. So please like it, okay, and share with your friends and support the channel. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. You are going to get the concepts like this. Thank you so much. We'll meet in the next video with a very good question.